it's hard, but you can't go around thinking of her 1,000 times when you think you see her face in the crowd. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, is what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't cry. No more shopping in the hall, only empty spaces. Brand new kitchens, black and white. I feel the house is dying, and I'm inside. Now she's gone, no way of ever knowing. Don't cry for me, don't cry, is what she'd say. Don't cry for me, don't Every time I think of you, I just break down. I miss you more than I ever could Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. Thank you for joining me tonight, all you guys in that live chat room, and you guys that are part of that early bird crew that were in there quite a while ago. And I was just typing a few comments in that live chat room, and I think that's why sometimes the video goes a bit jumpy, because my computer's trying to load me typing and doing things while it's still loading up the video for you guys to see. But anyway, we are here and we are live. Let me get you guys up on screen and hopefully we'll be able to see you in the live chat room. There it is. So hello, Lisa, Motown Girl, Ola, Stephen, Paul, Deborah, and Lauren Constantius in there as well. Cats in Hats. Hello, thank you for joining me, and thank you for those suggestions over on Patreon in order to start with Don't Cry. That was one that was requested over there, so thank you guys for that. And also, as you'll see at the top of the chat room, you'll see that Iris is currently at 61% for tonight's cover video that you guys have voted on already, so thank you for doing that. We will see if the other cover, which is Don't Stop Believin', I believe, if I can remember from about 20 or 25 minutes ago when I did that poll. So that is something that you guys can vote on in order to see the cover video for later on tonight. We will be having a pick roulette as well. And let me get the amount of likes up on screen to see where we're aiming for. 295 is our target for tonight. So that's our likes goal. And the live likes are coming in at 93 so far. So thank you for hitting that thumbs up. If you can do that as you come through the door, it will be much appreciated. It not only gets us closer to having a pick roulette next week for next week's Tuesday live stream, or live stream Tuesday, but it also helps this channel to grow, to get out there, for the live streams to get out there, but also all of the other videos. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. And just to mention about the amount of subscribers, we are now just past 184,000, which is again an even crazier number than 183,000, which I think I mentioned in the last live stream, or maybe a week ago. So it's gone up quite quickly. Thank you everyone for subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and getting notified for all the videos, all that kind of stuff. It is massively appreciated. We'll continue to just keep on pushing forward with the usual kind of videos. The live streams always happen on a Tuesday and a Saturday night at 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So if you want to work out when that is where you are, type in your time zone or just type in the time in London, and then you should be able to find that and then calculate it with your time zone in order to reach this live stream and be here live. Because sometimes there are still a few comments where people are not realizing they're not live, whereas you have to be live to see your comment in the live chat room. But without further ado, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they are the reason that this is happening in the first place and anything's happening on the channel in the first place. So a massive hello and thank you to these guys at the bottom of the screen. You know who you are. They also pop up in the super chat window, also in the PayPal window, mentioning the PayPal thing. Let's get everything up on screen. Percentages: YouTube takes 35 to 45% from the super chat donations, and PayPal takes 3 to 5% from the PayPal donations. But anyway, I know there have been a few donations, and just quickly, one that came in yesterday from Linda Z. So thank you for that. I just want to address that one before we start, because I have got the message here. It's not going to be on screen, but the message was, sorry I missed the last live stream. Busy weekend. Hopefully you and fellow wingers managed without me. Haha. Linda Z with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Linda Z. And also I noticed earlier on Lynn was in there with a very kind donation as well. So thank you for that, Lynn. I've just seen that when I've gone into the PayPal folder that I go into in order to get everything organised for this live stream. So thank you for that. And there was a donation that came in before the live stream started in the super chat window, which came in from Ginny. So thank you for that. And it was for $7. And the message was, Phil, if someone wrote a song while a member of a band and the band breaks up, can they stop that person from using the song later on? So thank you for that. And if somebody's written a song and it's literally just them that has written it, then that is their copyright song. It is theirs. They own it. So it means that they have the publishing rights to it. So if anybody does a cover of that song, whether it be a member in the band that the person who's wrote the song has just left, that person in the band will have to pay royalties or have an agreement with the person who wrote the song. And that's, I mean, it could be the arrangement that the person who's left the band says to the other band members, you're never going to perform my song. And that is something that they have just put down not to be breached. And if it is breached, then obviously they can sue, because they would have an agreement where they've all accepted that they can't play that particular song. But generally what happens is other members of the band can still play that song, and the person who wrote the song is happy just taking all of the revenue and, yeah, all of the royalties for every single performance of that song in various venues, whether it's used on TV or in movies. And this is it, that the band members might do their own version of that song, and they might have it featured on a TV show or in a movie, but then the person who wrote the song still gets the royalties for it. They don't share those out. That's all an agreement that you have with the use of your song. And it's something that I've mentioned on YouTube, that there are a few different ways, I think 4 different ways of having your music copyright and the usage terms of it. So you've either got the option to block it, just so your song will never be used by anybody and they can't cover it, and potentially just nobody can ever hear your song apart from the record label that release it, and might have it on an official channel, but that's about as much exposure as you're ever going to get. So you can have that blocking. You can either have a shared revenue, so if somebody makes a video or does a cover of it, then you can agree to halve the revenue or the royalties with the person who's done the cover. The third is that the person who's written the song can just take all of the royalties from any covers or any videos or uses of it on the internet or in movies or on TV, so that all of the royalties come to them. And then the fourth option, which you never see, and it's very rare if you do see that, the person who's written the song allows anybody to use it and take all the royalties for the use of their song, even though they didn't write it. So as you can tell, that's a very rare thing to happen, and it's why on YouTube, when I do analysis videos, if I'm ever featuring a song by somebody else, which is pretty much every analysis video I've ever done, it means that there is going to be one of those 3 copyright usage terms that come with it. So this is why when you watch videos that are adverts on the videos, is because it's one of those, pretty much 2. It never happens that the person says, oh yeah, use my video and take all of the ad revenue for it. So it means it falls into those other 2, under those other 2 headings, effectively, of either sharing the revenue or the copyright owner taking all of the revenue. Or, as you guys will know, some people just block their videos, so it means you can't use it at all, and that has happened sometimes, in which case I then have to re-edit it and re-upload it with all of the audio taken out and just me talking about it and then supplying a link in the description below. So that's how the copyrights work. So yes, you can still play the song as long as it's agreed with the person who's written it, but the person who's written it can choose to just block every other version or usage of their song. But anyway, thank you for that, Ginny, and I can see that Vince donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, yesterday was Kim's birthday, Shawnee Key, that is. So thank you for that, Vince. And everyone say a huge happy birthday to Shawnee Key in that live chat room. Just having a quick look into there. I can't see Shawnee Key's name, but I hope you had a fantastic day yesterday. And I'm sure everybody in that live chat room wishes you a very happy birthday. So everyone say happy birthday, or maybe delayed happy birthday for yesterday to Shawnee Key in that live chat room. Thank you for that heads up, Vince. And let's have a little look at the likes. 134 so far. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. We're getting a nice spike of the likes. And just while I mention the spike of the likes, let me have a plug of the mug. Here it is, spike the likes. It says it on the mug, so I don't have to keep on saying it, but great idea. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, head to the tray underneath this video. Also, there's a link in the description below that you guys can click on, which I believe you'll have to click on in order to go to the store, but to see the new posters that are up there. And I haven't even checked them out myself yet, because I was trying to log in. This is something that I mentioned over on Patreon last night, that I've forgotten how to log in because I haven't logged in such a long time. And I know that Stephanie from Teespring, or spring.com as it now is known, she's emailed me with instructions how to do it. I just haven't read that email yet. I've only read the subject line of it. This tends to happen when I'm busy doing everything, trying to keep up with everything. I just see the notification that an email's come in and I see the subject, but then I don't have a chance to read it. So I will be reading that later tonight after this live stream, trying to sort that all out. But I do believe that the posters are now available at spring.com. So if you do head to the store and click on the link in the description below, then you should be able to go there and see the posters. And I have to check them out as to what size they are. I'm assuming they're going to be pretty big because they are posters. So there might be different sizes. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it out. So that is something that I'll have to look into a little bit later on tonight, and possibly on Thursday as well. Just clear everything up, because that's usually one of my admin days when I can get into all of this kind of admin stuff to do with merchandise and sending off CDs, all that kind of stuff. So thank you everyone for buying the merchandise. Just whatever you might have got your hands on. You could get a t-shirt. As you can see here, I'm modeling the Wings of Pegasus zip up hoodie. There's also normal hoodies, mugs, glasses, tumblers as well, if you want to keep your cold drinks cold or your warm drinks warm. Warm drinks warm. It's easy for me to say, but that's what that does. And I've used one in the past to keep my drink. Actually, it was some orange squash that I had with ice in there, and it kept my cold drink very cold for a long time. So that's excellent. Anyway, just to say that they do work, at least the one that I have does work, and it is Wings of Pegasus tumbler if you want to get your hands on that. But anyway, that's all in the tray underneath. And if you want to take a picture of any merchandise, upload it to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Join that group, upload your pictures, and then I can show them here on the live streams. And I believe just one picture tonight that we're going to be looking at, but we'll look at that just before the pick roulette. So anyway, let me just jump into my emails and the PayPal folder, because I know that there have been a couple of donations that have come in a little bit earlier on, and I'm looking at one that came in just before the live stream. Oh, 11:15. Let me get this up on the screen so you guys can see it as well. And there it is, and have a little scroll down because Deborah has donated £7. Thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is, congratulations upon reaching 184,000 subscribers. Spike the likes with lots of exclamation marks. So thank you for that, Deborah. Great idea from Deborah there. Hit that thumbs up if you do get a chance. It'll be much appreciated. And I'm just going to go to the next donation that has come in as well. So thank you, Linda, for this £20.79. And that is a straight up donation. So thank you for that. So tonight in the live stream as well, I saw over on Patreon, which I'm just going to jump over to on my screen, and you might actually be able to see it in my face. It gets a little bit brighter when I go over to Patreon because it's just a white page. So thank you guys for requesting the songs, and also Kevin has requested a Phil tune tonight and that's going to be Guffest. I think there might have been another request for that. Yes, Deborah requested that one as well. So we might have a little look at a cartoon later on, and that'll be probably after the pick roulette. And I have managed to put it into the software and rename them so that now I can literally pick one of the cartoons just with the press of a button. And it's going to work. And normally I have to try and search to find the cartoons because there's so many different videos and buttons to press. But tonight, fingers crossed, it should work okay. Hopefully that I have set it up in the right way. But, just to jump on, another donation that's just literally come in. Hot off the press, we have one from Lisa for $10. So thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is, it's the 52nd anniversary of Woodstock. Excluding Jimi Hendrix, what other band's performance would you want to see? And I think I've been asked this before, and whether I answered Jimi Hendrix, I probably did with that. But the thing is, there are so many. I mean, I could just go into... the amount of analysis videos that I've just done on performances from Woodstock is crazy. But I'd probably have to go for Santana, maybe. I'm going down that route of kind of being a guitar fan and wanting to see. That was just one of those performances that went down in history because of the nature of the performance as well, and also the story behind it, then potentially getting a little bit high on something before they then got out on stage. But on the video that I looked at, actually didn't have the extended drum solo in there. That was edited out for some reason on the video that I was sent in order to analyze. So that's a bit of a shame. But just to see that whole performance, I think rather than, I definitely wouldn't, if I now had the choice to go back and watch a performance, I just wouldn't watch a performance. I'd just stay for the whole thing and just absorb all of the performances, because of course we know now how many amazing performances there were. But yeah, I mean, you could probably guess that I'd probably say Santana in terms of the other performance to watch, but I would just stay there for the whole thing and yeah, just try and drink it in as an event. And the other thing is the fact that it was so early on when we're talking about the technology of Woodstock and them just really trying to put on a gig like that or an event like that. It was so difficult to do, and it was really in the early days of festivals and just working out how to do it and trying to get the amplifiers and the PA system that's actually going to be loud enough to play to how many people turned up. So it's just the overall vibe, and I think just to experience the whole event, you would have to stay there for more than just one act and maybe one performance. So yeah, I would maybe say that I'm staying for one performance, but I'll just stay for the whole thing. But yeah, ahead of that, as Lisa knows, I would say Jimi Hendrix was one of those that I would love to have seen just live, regardless, but at Woodstock as well. I mean, I do have his whole Woodstock performance on DVD, so that is something that I purchased, I think, when I was in my teenage years. And yeah, that's a great watch as well. And I did, I think recently I had to, recently I had to re-edit the Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banner performance because it got blocked on copyrights, and that was something that happened recently, but I did upload that quite a while ago, and unfortunately, yeah, even though that's not one of his songs, it still got blocked, so that's a shame that I can't really get much Jimi Hendrix on the channel, which is a bit of a pain for me personally, being such a huge fan, but that's just the way of it. That, yeah, the record label, I think it was Sony, that blocked the Star Spangled Banner, and I think just the Jimi Hendrix estate just block everything, and they are that tiny percentage of copyright owners that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, where Ginny asked that question about can you use people's songs. I said very rarely you get somebody or a record label, a publishing company or an estate who outright block any use of songs by an artist. And unfortunately, Jimi Hendrix falls under that heading of an artist whose songs have now been blocked across the board for anybody to listen to or feature or promote in any way, shape or form on YouTube channels or any other way on the internet, which, like I said, as a Jimi Hendrix fan, it is a real shame for myself, but also I think for me as a fan, thinking of his music not getting out there anymore to the younger generation, whereas the other people who have a slightly less strict approach on their music, and even just allowing your music to be played and taking all of the revenue from it yourself, I can't see the negative in that, especially on YouTube, where people are, and other songs have now got to #1 because they've been featured on people's channels and those videos have gone viral, and now they're making a hell of a lot of money through the ad revenue. It's a win-win because they're not only getting the money from the sales, so the record label's making the money, but the person who wrote the song, who owns the publishing, is getting the ad revenue from YouTube, and they're getting more exposure for their song. So I don't see how there's any negative from that. So I don't understand the reason for publishing companies, record labels, copyright owners to block the use of their song in any form on the internet. It just doesn't make any sense. But I think it's people who don't know how the internet works and how ad revenue works and how royalties work. Maybe it's something that, if the songwriter was in charge, maybe they would have figured out that actually you can make a lot of money from ad revenue by allowing the use of your song, because you can say that I, as a copyright owner, take all of the revenue from everybody else's work. I can just sit there and all of these different funnels trickle down to me, and it will just go into a particular bank account from millions of potential YouTube channels that are using that song. You get maybe 5, 10, 15, 100 pounds from each of those channels. It will definitely add up. But anyway, let's stop talking about that. But thank you for that, Lisa. Carla has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, you have a question. Can someone choose the Bleach logo shirt for their Patreon level shirt? So thank you for that, Carla. And Yeah, with Patreon, I'm not sure if that is still a reward on Patreon. I don't think it's something that I thought that I changed it, so maybe it wasn't, because I was sending out the t-shirts myself. And as you can imagine, getting a few patrons every day, I just didn't have time to literally travel to the post office to send them off and then come back, and then somebody else became a patron, so then I had to send off another t-shirt. So it's something that I'm not sure whether the t-shirts on Patreon are going to be something that are going to continue as the reward. I mean, it might be the case that if you are part of Patreon, if you're under the reward tier that is a t-shirt kind of award, I mean, that's part of the whole Patreon thing. I think it might still be on there. But what I'll do is I might be able to work it out that everybody who joins on Patreon under the tier that has the t-shirt in it, and by the way, just to explain it, that when you join different tiers on Patreon, over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, I'll get that site up on screen. When you join the site and join a particular tier, you get rewards, and then those are usually kind of downloads or album tracks, cover videos that you can watch, live performances, all that kind of stuff. And on one of those, I think that it's probably the top tier that you get a t-shirt. I might be able to work it out with maybe Teespring if you join up there and then message me over on patreon.com. This is the good thing about that you guys can message me. You can message me directly, and this is what you'll need to do in order to get the t-shirt, because I need your address. I can't send out t-shirts without your address, so it's something that you'll have to send to me in a personal message. So if you have joined up and you didn't send me your address, then that's why you haven't received a t-shirt, because I don't know where to send it. And I think now what I can maybe do is organize that all through spring.com, and they changed from being teespring.com to spring.com, but I can organize that in order to get it sent out. In terms of getting the Bleach logo as a t-shirt, I'm not sure. Maybe, I mean, it just means that because Carla does, as Carla's just donated with that message, as Carla does those t-shirts and makes them up, then you'd have to try and organize, or I'd have to try and organize with Carla getting, maybe you get your address to me, or you could bypass me directly, and if you are part of that tier over on Patreon, then you can email Carla, who can maybe send off a t-shirt. So if Carla's happy with doing that, then you can get a Bleach t-shirt from Patreon. Maybe that's something that I'll try and organize so that you can get a Bleach t-shirt, and it might just be one of those things that over on Patreon you get that t-shirt because it's a little bit more exclusive, I guess, because Carla's literally making those and bleaching the logo into the t-shirts. Maybe that's something that we can do. So I'll message Carla on Facebook maybe after this live stream to see if that's something that we can work out to get now the t-shirts that are sent off through Patreon to be the Bleach shirts that Carla will send off. But like I said, if you haven't received your t-shirt, maybe now is a good time to organize it and either message me with your address or message Carla with your address. And this is, and I can see Carla's just going through at the bottom of the comment section or the live chat room saying no problem. So we'll try and organize this. If you want to email Carla, and that's many moons ago in 1965 at yahoo.com. That's her email address. Maybe Carla can type that into the live chat room so you guys have that on record. But if you email Carla and you are a Patreon member of that top level tier, and I can cross-reference that. I know some people will say, oh, I'm a member, and they're not actually part of that tier. I can cross-reference it with the members over on Patreon to make sure that you are part of that tier. And then I can, clarify that with Carla, and then she can send you your t-shirt. But you'll have to email Carla with your address, it's going to be exactly the same setup. Like I said, if you haven't received your shirt and you are part of that tier, it's because I don't physically have your address. All I get from Patreon is the email address that was used to sign up. I don't get people's personal details. So yeah, just so you know that if you are over on Patreon and you haven't received a t-shirt and you don't know why that is, I don't have your address to send it to. But now you can send your address to Carla and she can send you one of the bleached t-shirts, and you can also get the size sorted out as well, because that's something that doesn't happen on Patreon. I think I used to send out the mediums because I would then have to try and contact people to find out what size they wanted, and then if they didn't check their emails, then it would be a bit of a nightmare and I just have to send off a medium size. But anyway, that's something we can organise through Carla. So thank you for that. Organising maybe is going to be a little bit more effective in the future with that, but thank you for that, Carla. And Chet has donated $1.99, so thank you for that, Chet. And I'm just going to have a look in the PayPal window because I think another one has come through there, and it has. And I think there was one, if memory serves me correctly, I was skipping through the earlier donations and I think there was one from maybe Steve. But anyway, I'll have a look. I'll have to maybe go back a little bit. But Paul has donated £5. Thank you for this, Paul. And the message is, you may have renamed the Phil Toon files, but we'll soon find out whether you put the right names on the right files, with a smiley face and a guitar in there. Thank you for that, Paul, and thank you for your confidence. And yeah, we will find out, because I don't have a very good record in the past of naming things correctly and clicking on the right videos, and I've got quite a good record of clicking on the wrong videos. But I'm just going to have a quick look through the donations that came in earlier, because I'm sure that Steve, there it is. Let me get this up on screen so you guys can see it. Steve donated £5, so I wasn't imagining it. And thank you for that, Steve. And the message was, I saw John Fahey years ago in a room with 50 to 75 people. He talked about capos and alternatives a lot between songs. Could explain them and why to use them. So thank you for that, Steve. And in terms of the tunings on the guitar, I mean, I think I have a video. It was on John a very long time ago that I have on the video here, the video on the channel here somewhere. So you can watch that if you want to check out John Fahey. That is a player well worth checking out. But in terms of the tunings, when you're starting to change your tunings with a guitar, you can either take your standard tuning, which means that the relationships between the notes remain consistent, and you can detune your guitar by half a step, which means that you're now going to be in E flat, but you still play all the same chord shapes. You can even take it all the way down to D or D flat or C if you're looking to get into really heavy styles of music. But you can also just change particular strings at a time, which means that, for example, you have drop D, which means you just take your low E string down a tone, but all the other strings stay the same in standard tuning. So it means that you can now play chords a little bit more easily on the bottom three strings, or the top three strings if you're looking at the guitar, depending on how you're looking at them. But the low E string, the A string and the D string are now just barred in order to get your chord shapes there. If you just want to play a fifth, effectively, that's what those chords would be. So anyway, that's just drop D, changing one string down to D. You've also got, whole chord tunings. Like when you're playing slide guitar, or you're looking to play with just your first finger. This is something that the Bee Gees used to do, just tune their guitar to a chord and have that first finger across the whole guitar. And that means that you just push down your first finger and you'll get a chord. You'll get a major chord. So you don't have to put any other fingers on. And you'll see just moving up and down that fretboard, just fretting, and that was Barry that used to do that on his acoustic. So you then have to play a different shape in order to get a minor chord, but the major chords, you can just move that first finger up and down. So, and that's why it works well with the slide, because the slide is like pushing down with your first finger, but you don't push down on the strings, you just move your slide up and down the guitar. So you've got that tuning. You've also got totally custom tunings, which is something that Joni Mitchell, for example, used to do, and I think that's because she did have problems with fretting particular positions or having too much of a stretch sometimes on particular chords, because I think she had an issue earlier. I'm not sure exactly what it was with her hand. Maybe, I don't know why polio just jumped into my head. It might have been that, it might not have been, but it was these different tunings that she would use, and I think that was because of her physiology and the way that she might have struggled to stretch to particular chords. So she tuned the strings to make the chords easier to play for her own compositions. So it did mean that she would regularly retune her guitar to particular songs, or at least for songs that she had written that had different tunings that made it easier for her to play the chords that were in that particular song. So you can approach it like that you can have totally custom tunings for your own songs. And yeah, Joni did that. So in terms of using capos, now using a capo means that you're using whatever tuning you've got on your guitar, you're now moving it up the fretboard. Generally, this will be standard tuning that you'll use on your open strings, and then you'll put your capo on the 3rd fret, for example, in order to now raise the key of your song by a tone and a half, or 3 frets if you're looking at your guitar. So it means that it's 3 semitones, or 3 half steps, or a whole step and a half, depending on how, if you're in the UK or if in the USA, how you want to describe it. But 3 semitones, easiest way if you're looking at your guitar, 3 frets, move it up to the 3rd fret, and it means that you're still going to be able to play your E shape, your D shape, your A shape, all of your open chord shapes that you learn for the bottom of the guitar. You can still play them, but you've raised the key of the song. And the reason you might want to do that is because you might now be playing backing behind a female singer, and originally it was a male singer who sang a bit lower, and now the female singer sings higher. So you don't want to have to try and transpose the chords, especially if you're playing at an open mic or something. You just put that capo on your guitar, and now you can just play all the chords as you normally do. All your chord shapes are totally unadjusted. You can just go straight into the performance, and now it's going to be in the key of the female vocalist. And now if the male vocalist wants to sing, take off the capo and you're still good to go with your original shapes. You'll probably find that with a female vocalist, you'll be taking it up probably at least 5 frets to then get in her range, obviously depending on her range, but I'm assuming it's not going to get down into the kind of baritone, male baritone range where guys typically sing. Women tend to be at the top end of that minimum, if not in the male tenor range, when we're starting to compare the typical ranges of males and females. So yeah, you will have to put a cap on the guitar to keep all those shapes the same. And if you don't have a capo, it means you're going to have to now play bar chords. And a lot of people don't like playing bar chords, especially if they're used to playing open string chords. They just put a capo on there and it saves a lot of hassle. But anyway, long answer to that question, but thank you, Steve, for that donation. And I'm just going to remove that off the screen so we can get a little bit more up to date with the PayPal donations, because that one was well before the live stream. So thank you for that, Steve. And Tortordo Porco's in the house and has donated £3. Thank you for that, Richard. The message is, I think that you should put a poster of yourself behind your drum kit, so we imagine you drumming during live streams. So thank you for that, Richard. And that would be a bit weird, me having a poster of myself in here, especially for any visitors. I'll say, oh, have you seen that on the wall? That's me. I like to look at myself. So yeah, that would be a little bit egotistical. So it'd just be a bit weird, I think, having a picture of me in here. But thank you for that suggestion, Richard. And Beth has donated £17.33. Thank you for that, Beth. And the message is, it looks like a bit of a long one. Greetings, Phil, and wonderful wingers and newbies. So excited I got a great starter guitar and took my first lesson, got it tuned, learned how to hold the plectrum, and learned the D chord. It even sounds decent half the time. Any suggestions for sausage fingers? Spike the likes. Congrats on 184,000 with a smiley face and some rock horns. So thank you for that, Beth. And congratulations on your first guitar and your first chord and your first plectrum. And any tips for sausage fingers? I would say that a lot of people who do have thicker fingers think that they can't play because their fingers are too thick. But there have been plenty of players who have had very thick fingers who can still play very well and get very clean sounding chords. And a lot of the best players of all time have had massive hands. And one of those being Stevie Ray Vaughan. He just had huge hands and sausage fingers, but he's still got everything to sound really clean and just amazingly use those fingers to great effect on that fretboard. So I would say with chords is something that you're going to have to have patience with, and just don't lose faith that you will be able to get your chords nice and clean. You just have to, you'll be amazed at the difference between a clean chord and a chord that doesn't ring out correctly. It's fractions of millimeters in order to get that string to ring out, because all you have to do is make sure you don't touch the string. And I mean, when a string vibrates, it is really fractions of millimeters, whether it's going to touch your finger or whether it's not going to touch your finger. So it's just adjusting the position until you get it clean. And what I used to do was, say for example, I'm trying to play a D chord, I would place my first finger on and I'd pick that and just see if that sounded clean. I'd then hit the root note, so the D string, and I would then hear if those two strings rang out clearly together. I'm just going to grab, not that it's plugged in, but I'm going to grab my guitar just so I can show you guys the D chord, and I'm going to have to hold it up really weirdly, and it's plugged in, which means the wire's going to get in the way, but it means that I would literally take one finger at a time, place it on the second fret, because I'm going to be playing a D chord here, placing it on the second fret of the G string, and I would pick it to make sure that it rang out cleanly by itself, and now I'd hit the root note, and I go between those two strings to hear. You probably can't hear it very clearly, but they're ringing out cleanly, which is what you want. You don't want any buzzing, which is kind of like that sound. Not that you'll be able to hear that very clearly, but you want them to ring out clearly together. And then I would place on my third finger, because I know the first two are done, and I didn't want to affect this first finger in any way, so it means that once I've got to that first finger, I'd now play that string, the B string, third fret, with the third finger to make sure that that's clean, because I know the first two are already clean. You have to make sure that your hand doesn't move at all when you add the other finger. That's sometimes what happens, is all your fingers want to get involved at the same time because you haven't yet learnt the muscle memory in order for all your fingers to move independently. So that is something they'll all want to move. So once you've got that first finger in position, just move that third finger on, try and make sure that it's clean. You just pick the string that you've got your finger on first, before then picking the other ones to make sure they're still clean. And then finally, you're already ahead of me, you place on your second finger on the second fret of that high E string and try and get that clean. And again, the trick is not to move any of the other fingers, and hopefully you'll get them all ringing out cleanly. What you will find is that your third finger will always want to lean on that high E string. And just to show you the difference between a clean chord and a muted chord, you can't hear the high E string at the moment, but if I go like that, look at my left hand. Dead chord, clean chord. You can't even see the movement because it is fractions of millimeters. There's the difference between a clean chord and a chord that doesn't sound very good. So this is why when you are learning to play, and I know that a lot of people, because I've been teaching a very long time, they think that they just can't get a clean chord position, but it is in there. And I've taught plenty of people who have really struggled for a very long time and then finally find the position where the clean chord is. And it was just fraction of a millimeter of, say for example, moving that third finger, just arching it over, making it a little bit more vertical on the fretboard, and then they find the clean chord. So it will be in there. It's just persevering with it. But anyway, so that's my guitar lesson for this live stream. But thank you, Beth, for that donation and the question. And Sue has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. That is a straight up donation as well. Thank you for that. And Lucy has donated £6. Thank you for this, Lucy. And the message is, how do you feel, fellow wingers and new wingers? Spike the likes, buy the cool merch, and join the Wings Pegasus supporters Facebook page with some rock horns, heart, and peace. So thank you for that, Lucy, and a great idea there. Join that Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook and upload your pictures. Get involved in there because that's where everyone hangs out from the live chat room in between live streams. And yeah, great idea. Spike the likes. Where are we? 198. We're aiming for 275, which means we're looking for 77 more people to hit that thumbs up before the end of the live stream. And it's already gone 1:45. So I'm pretty sure that when we start a live stream, it's like the Bermuda Triangle in terms of the time distorts and weird stuff happens. And I tell you what, just talking about weird stuff, the Bermuda Triangle, I mean, check that out if you get a chance. I've seen documentaries on that, which are just crazy. One was a plane that took off from somewhere where they were traveling through the Bermuda Triangle, and they arrived at their location something like 4 or 5 hours early and hadn't used any petrol. They still had a full tank of petrol in the aeroplane, and they couldn't explain how they got there that many hours early. But anyway, that's an interesting thing that I watched. But I'm into all of this kind of weird stuff. But the thing I have watched recently, and sometimes I do have time to watch a documentary or something, and something that came up on Sky was The Curse of Skinwalker Ranch. It was something like that. And this is something where it's a place in the USA, which is like in Utah, I think, a really highly active place for really weird stuff going off. And it's been so weird and so active that they then sent scientists there to try and measure things scientifically. And yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that wants to watch it, but if you've got the availability of that particular series, I think it's still going on because I managed to watch the first series of that. But there's loads of really cool things that happen. I mean, the only thing that I don't like about the series is they keep on, because once you've watched one episode, you know what's happened in that episode. So then when you watch the next episode, you want to get into the next episode, but they keep referring back to the stuff that you already know and jumping back to that footage. So that is a little bit annoying sometimes. But if you keep watching it, there's some really interesting stuff going on there because they're using scientific methods to try and measure stuff that is unexplainable. So yeah, it's really interesting to see them measure something and say, right, now we can say for a fact we have measured something scientifically that we can't explain. So it's definitely worth a watch, and it is something like that, Curse of Skinwalker Ranch. I think along those kind of lines. If you type that in, you'll probably find it. But anyway, that's just if you're into, weird stuff, unexplained things, maybe aliens and that kind of stuff. That's certainly something that's been mentioned about that space in Utah. In that desert, but also about curses being placed on the land, not being able to dig because it stirs up things about the land. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely worth a watch if you're into that kind of thing. But even if you're into just trying to work out things that you can't explain that are just tested scientifically, it's good because it's got that scientific element to it. It's not just people going around with cameras saying, oh wow, I saw a ghost, and you can't really prove whether they saw it or not. You're just going on their word. At least they're doing scientific tests in order to try and either prove it or disprove the claims that have been made. But anyway, let's move on with the live stream. I am going to play the cover video that has been voted for tonight because it looks like it is Iris, and this is one that has been voted for, or at least been requested over on Patreon quite a few times. So it looks like Iris has got 55% of the vote, and I don't know why, but it looks like, there we go, it finally showed up in order to end the poll. So thank you guys for voting, and it should show up to see how many people have voted on this one, but it will be Iris, so I'll get myself organized so that we can jump straight into that video. And it was just, 55% that voted for that, so it was a close one, but 176 people voted. Thank you guys for voting for the poll, or on that poll tonight for this cover. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Is my version of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
Up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your life. When sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Whenever there's a made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. Fight the tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your eyes. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Whenever there's a made to be broken, I just want you to know who I
And there we have it. That was my version of Iris. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And it looks like, yeah, we're getting a bit of an alien theme going on in the live chat room. And just to mention that, here in the UK, on this show that we have during the day, we have like a panel, like an all-female panel, and it's called Loose Women, and they have guests on there, normally to promote some kind of product that they've got out, like a fitness video or a new album. They sometimes get musicians on there, and David Coverdale went on there once, which was a bit weird because it's one of those daytime TV shows that's not in any way kind of related to heavy or hard rock music or rock and roll, but he obviously had his album or his performances to try and push to get people to come and watch Whitesnake. But anyway, on there they had the panel and they were talking about aliens, and one of the people on that panel said that it was all stupid and they didn't believe that there was any life anywhere else and that we were just the only life. But for me, that point of view is so contradictory because we are the proof that life exists. So to say, I don't believe that there's any other life in the infinite universe, we know how ridiculously big the universe is, but we are the proof that there is life. So to think that there isn't life somewhere else is, it's like a contradiction to your own being. And somebody having the view that, I don't believe there's any other life. Well, how do you explain yourself? How do you explain that you're talking and you have that point of view if life doesn't exist on potentially other planets? And I don't think I think that the universe could be, I think it probably would be maybe naive to think that there's only life on this planet compared to how many suns must be out there, how many other planets there must be out there that have the same elements that you find in the periodic table. There's every chance that life can happen, even on a basic level of bacteria, that kind of thing. It still counts as life. So I just thought it was really funny because she was so adamant that aliens and all of that was just stupid. There can't be any other life on other planets. So I thought she just had to explain how she came to be. But anyway, that's one of those topics, obviously totally outside the music arena, but something I do find interesting about life and the world and the universe, space, aliens, and also the amount of technology we're now getting that I don't think most people know how it works. Like, we just take for granted we've now got the world's knowledge and history on a little thing that you'd hold in your pocket, and it's just on there. And how do you get it? Well, it's Wi-Fi, or it's 3G, or it's 4G, or it's 5G. I think these are it's just a number and a letter after it. What does 4G mean? What is 4G doing? How is information getting on my phone, and how am I getting this through Wi-Fi? What is Wi-Fi? How does Wi-Fi work? And who invented it? And how did they come to know it existed? I think probably they just asked an alien and they said, we've got this in our ships, so you use it. But don't use it in the 1960s because that'll be too much for the population to absorb. Just try and gradually put it out there, and then everyone will just accept that magically stuff gets into this little object in your hand. And I'm pretty sure that if we went back to the 40s and the 50s, people would think that we were aliens because we have these things that light up. You press something on the side of it and it lights up the screen. I mean, look at that. How weird is that? It lights up by itself, and you can talk to anybody in the world on this. It is literally like going back to Star Trek, where this says, he says, "Come in, Scotty," and it makes a little beeping sound. Is that, but in real life. So people back in, even like the 1920s, 1930s, imagine going up to them with a phone, even with a drone. That would blow their mind, that they see something flying by itself, just hovering in the air. That would be classed as an alien. I think in the future, potentially even more technology is going to come out. Where it comes from, nobody knows, or at least I don't know. But anyway, so let's move on with the live stream, and we'll have to do an alien Wings of Pegasus alien investigation over in Utah. Why not? We'll all meet up and try and summon some aliens or get some cameras and try and record some stuff and see what happens. But anyway, Thank you for hitting that thumbs up, by the way. We're up to 225 likes. We're aiming for 275, so it means that we're still looking for 50 more people, and we've got about 15 minutes left of the live stream, so it's going to have to be a bit of a rush in order for us to hit that target. We will see, but we are going to have a look at just the one picture for tonight, and then we'll jump into the pick roulette. So the picture for tonight, hopefully we can see Vince and Sandy up on screen, and there's Vince with his Wings of Pegasus mug, the cap as well, and Sandy there is modelling the tumbler. So thank you, Vince, for uploading this, and Vince and Sandy for doing the modelling there. But thank you for uploading this and linking me to it over on Facebook, as well as the other pictures that are uploaded. And thank you guys for doing that at the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. And you guys can join in there if you have any pictures that you want to upload of merchandise, and I can feature them like I just did on the live stream. Actually, let me just jump into the donations as well, because I know that there has been another one on PayPal. Let me get that up on screen. So Karen has donated £3.47. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, I got my Wings of Pegasus tumbler about a week ago. Now my drinks taste so nice with ice. As we always have the plug of the mug, perhaps there can be a catchphrase for the tumbler. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So what rhymes with tumbler? That's something we can throw it out to the live chat room. That is everyone's mission. Before the end of the live stream, we've got to come up with a catchphrase for a tumbler. So have a go at that in the live chat room. I'll keep an eye on that, see if we come up with anything. And Stephen has donated £6.93. Thank you for that, Stephen. And the message is, great work, sir. So thank you for those kind words, and no problem. I will keep on doing the videos as long as people are requesting them and sending me links, and we'll be checking out videos for the foreseeable future. Thank you, Kevin, as well, who has donated £1. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, your posters are 18 inches by 24 inches for $20.99 each. So thank you for that, Kevin. And how big is 18 by 24 inches? That seems like it's quite big. So what I'll do is, and $20.99, what is that in UK money? Is that about like £15 or something? So that's like, yeah, I'm not sure whether, because I haven't done the pricing. That's maybe something that I'll talk to Stephanie about. So maybe keep up to date on Patreon. If you guys are on Patreon, keep up to date with that. I'll try and look into that on, where are we? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is going to be my admin day where I can look at things. Maybe I'll email Stephanie about the price. For me, that seems like quite a lot for a poster. And maybe it's just a gigantic poster and that's why it costs that much to print. But I will find out about those posters and the price of them and that they're okay. Let me, actually, guys, again, coming up with a catchphrase, but maybe more importantly, if you guys can let me know in the live chat room and maybe over on Patreon about the price of a poster, what you guys think they should cost. Because then, because it's obviously, I have the final say. Stephanie does the prices automatically, but then I can say how much they should be or I want them to be. So let me know over on Patreon or in the live chat room tonight before the end of the live stream, just to let me know what you think a poster price should be, because I'm not an expert in like merchandise or pricing or especially posters, what they should cost. So let me know, guys, in the live chat room. That would help me out quite a lot. But thank you, Kevin, for that. And Erica has donated £20. Thank you for that, Erica. And the message is, happy Tuesday night / Wednesday morning to all you glorious wingers. Keep spiking the likes. So thank you for that, Erica. Great idea. If you can hit that thumbs up, we'll keep on getting that thumbs up going. 232 likes now. So we're gradually getting there. Thank you, Patricia, as well, for your £2 donation. The message is, Hi Phil, this is quite a long one. Hi Phil, did you ever get in arguments with bandmates? I think the saddest band breakups are when families have a nasty falling out that stops them performing together, whether it's bad blood from divorce, Fleetwood Mac for example, or sibling feuds like the Gallagher brothers in Oasis, or the Fogerty brothers in Creedence Clearwater Revival. The Wilson sisters spat was due to a fistfight between Anne's husband and Nancy's two sons, but hopefully they'll patch it up. Have you heard any of Nancy's solo album that's out now? So thank you for that, Patricia, and that was a very long one. So just to cover that very quickly, it is a shame when bands break up because of members not getting on, but it's a really common thing. And yeah, it's something that, I mean, that John Fogerty example was a good one, considering the fact that when he went his own separate way and started doing his own thing, he got sued by the record label for sounding too much like Creedence Clearwater Revival. Just try and work that one out, because it's just, yeah, that gives you an idea of the record labels thinking that they can sue somebody who wrote the songs and sang the songs for sounding too much like themselves and for writing songs that sound like themselves. So yeah, just crazy stuff. But yeah, it is a shame where bands break up and fall out, but it's just the nature of the beast, because of, especially when you're touring and you have to spend so much time together, and then you do an album and you're constantly spending every waking day with that person, and then you might not get on. So yeah, also arguments about songs when they say, oh, I wrote that song, and then somebody else says, no, I wrote that song, and they said, oh yeah, but I played that, I came up with that melody, and somebody said, no, I came up with that. So yeah, that is when money starts getting involved, and especially when record labels get involved, then yeah, it's just a hotbed for arguments and disagreements and claims and suing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is why I just like to stay totally separate from the music industry and just keep everything organize myself, own all of the publishing rights to all of my songs, and that is it. Absolutely okay, absolutely fine, and just makes it a lot more simple rather than having a record label getting involved and taking percentages and then arguing and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, thank you for that, Patricia. I'm just going to have to rush through these because Joan has donated £25 as well. Thank you for that, Joan. The message is, thank you for the Iris cover. It's one of your best in my opinion, with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Joan, and that is much appreciated for those kind words. We are going to be jumping into the pick roulette for tonight. So everyone brace yourselves for this, and we are at 242 likes. I'm not sure we're going to hit the target for tonight. We're looking for another 32 people. Is that right? 40, 50, 60, 70. Yes, so 32 more people to hit that thumbs up to have another pick roulette next week. And we're close approaching the end of the live stream. So, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's pick roulette. Well, good luck everybody for this. I hope it's your lucky night, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! So, here we have the pick roulette wheel up on screen. If this is your first one watching, we have a little shuffle of the names. You can see everybody's names on there who entered it last week. And in order to get your name on the pick roulette wheel, we have to hit the target for the likes of that particular live stream. Tonight is 275. And if we did hit that target, then after the pick roulette, you type I agree and tag Carla Murray in that comment in order to get entered for the next pick roulette. But anyway, let's shuffle the names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and oh, look at the t-shirts. The t-shirts are all bundled up, so maybe there's more chance. Look at that, two next to each other. Maybe there's more chance of having a t-shirt roulette tonight. We will see. But good luck, everybody. Let me pick somebody's name that is going to be my top tip, but is probably guaranteed not to win. I'm going to choose Ben Benjamin. So good luck, everybody, but especially Ben Benjamin. We'll see if, for the first time ever, I can pick the correct name for tonight's pick roulette. Let's give it a spin and see who's going to win. So it's just about slowing down. Where is Ben? It's too fast to see his name, but we can see Sandra going through there. Lots of t-shirts. Was that Scott, Pam, Thomas, Alina? I can't see Ben's name anywhere. Lucy and Renee, Brenda, John. Is it going to get as far as John? Or Garden Insight? It looks like it's just gone over into Garden Insight. So, congratulations, Garden Insight, for winning tonight's Pick Roulette. And commiserations to everybody else. And apologies again for Ben for picking you and making sure that, you didn't win. Unfortunately, it's just like the kiss of death. And I can see Laurie going through the comment section saying, do not pick me as your top tip. Which is totally understandable. But congratulations, Garden Insight. If you can let yourself be known in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated in order to get the Wings of Pegasus signed pick sent off to you. That's something that Carla needs your address for, obviously for postage reasons. But also I can see Ben going through saying it's an honour. So I apologise, Ben, for causing that loss. But maybe next time, if we can get the lycometer up to 275. So what we're going to do is, I did say that we'll watch a cartoon, so we will do that now. I'll have to remove everything from the screen to get myself back up on screen. But congratulations to Garden Insight. And by the way, there is the signed pick for you. Oh. Just while I yawn, and pardon me, there's a Wings of Pegasus logo on the other side as well. And I think the reason for the yawning is probably burning the candle at both ends, as they say, and not really sleeping. I think I've probably had maybe 3 or 4 hours sleep, so that's my body saying, I need the extra few hours that you missed out on last night and try and fit them into tonight. So this is why I have to try and finish the live streams at about 1:15 so that I can get everything done, emails and comments and that kind of stuff, and then get in bed by 5:30. When I miss my bedtime of 5:30, then it means that I'm, living dangerously. My body lets me know that I need more sleep. But we are pretty much okay for tonight's live stream. We've still got 4 minutes, so let's jump into this real life story, and we'll see if I've organised it so that I click on the button that I've made up. It should be Guffest, so thank you guys for requesting this one over there. Let's have a look at it, and we will see what happens. And try and hit that thumbs up if you do get a chance, because we're now looking for 22 more people to jump into that live chat room. So I can see lots of I agrees going through, and those will only count if we do hit that thumbs up and get to 275. We will see. But I hope you guys enjoy this real life story, and I'll see you guys afterwards. Rock!
Holy gosh, guys, you will not believe what I have just managed to secure.
What are you talking about? Can't you see we're right in the middle of watching Jeremy Kyle?
Well, I have just managed to secure us as the headline act in this year's biggest and only festival in Maidenhead. On Monday evening.
Monday evening? Sounds like a very queer time to have the final big act of the festival. Well, I guess it must be a bank holiday for the crowds to be there.
I think we should not check and just assume that is the case. It would be great to play to a festival crowd. I'm starting to feel nervous already.
Well, I can't believe we are going to be on the main stage. This is so awesome.
Well, it can't hurt to get our music out to a larger audience and to play on a large stage. It will be a great experience for us. Hello there, I wonder if you can help me. My band are due to headline the Guffest and we can't find the venue. Do you know where it is? We stupidly thought we would be able to follow the crowds, but we must be in the totally wrong vicinity. Any ideas?
Oh yes, this is Guffest. Are you Phil Henley?
Heck. Sorry. Yes, I am Phil. I do apologize, but I seem to have missed where it is being held. Where is the crowd and where is the main stage?
The main stage, or stage 1, is located over in that direction. Stages 2 and 3 are in the opposite direction, with the acoustic stage just in front of the toilets.
Okay, great, thanks. So where do we unload to get to the main stage? Is the space on stage to have our equipment ready while the previous band are playing? And also, how far away is the field and stage, as I can't hear the crowds and I assume it must be a long walk from here?
Note, the main stage is behind you. If you look on the floor, there is some gaffer tape on the floor running diagonally across the corner of the room with main stage written on it.
Ha! For a second there I thought you said there wasn't actually a stage and that it was just a floor divided into two sections depicted by gaffer tape.
That is exactly what I said.
Oh, I seem to have been misled by the use of the term festival. This is in fact just a room with gaffer tape on the floor in three corners of the room depicting stages 1, 2 and 3. It also seems to get to the toilets you have to walk directly through the acoustic stage while the person is performing, not to mention of course the unique aroma that is being generated from behind the stage.
This is the way we set it up every year and it's always worked very well.
How many people do you get on average a year coming to this pub? Sorry, festival.
We tend not to count in numbers as I find them misleading. I hate figures.
Great. Well, I shall take that answer as attendance is minimal. Well, we have 10 friends and family coming down at least, thank ruddy heck.
Do they realize it is £6 to get in on the door?
Holy guff. Are you yanking my crank? How can you justify that entry fee? That means you will be making at least £60 from us alone, and that is before any beverage purchase being taken into account. How much are we getting paid for this gig? Sorry, festival.
We don't pay the bands, not even petrol money, because we are totally out of order.
Well, to be fair, that seems to be common practice these days.
Yes, and also the bands that we book to play are not checked beforehand, so they could be the worst band we've ever heard.
Well, again, at least you are following the common guidelines. So shall we set up now while there is nobody around? Haha. That was a joke.
Okay. Also, we might ask you to turn yourselves down somehow, as some people prefer to watch the television, which we leave on during performances.
Fantastic. Well, do we at least get any free drinks or food? We will be here for 6 hours in total after all.
We will allow you free tap water all evening.
That's absolutely fantastic. For some reason water is something I feel like I need to stay alive, so having it from a tap for free seems like a great offer. Thank you so much.
Think nothing of it.
Oh, I will. Right, I had better get back to the van and tell the guys the good news about the extortionate ticket price, not getting paid, no stage, and no crowd. Thank you for this opportunity and this great festival. Before I leave, I must inform you this has now become the worst day of my life. Bye.
One last thing, while we were talking I could see your car was getting a parking ticket.
That's brilliant. Bye.
And there we have it. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. One of my real life stories, of which there are 4 to choose from. But yes, that did work. I thought it was going to be the wrong video for a moment, but that was Guffest. So thank you for requesting that over on Patreon. And I think maybe we're going to have to be calling it a day. And we're only 14 away from the total that we're aiming for tonight, 275. So I don't think we're quite going to make it. And just while that video was playing, we were talking about, or I was talking about, or being asked about my sleeping habits. And I mean, generally I'm okay. This is why, like I mentioned about finishing the live stream at about 1:15 means I can get everything done. And then generally I think I get enough sleep. It's not really a problem. But on those days when sometimes when videos get blocked on YouTube, that's a pain, because it means that I'm having to re-edit a video and it takes maybe an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours longer than I planned for, which means it then pushed me later on in terms of then getting everything done before I go to bed. So it means that it effectively is taking that time out of my sleep, because I generally wake up at the same time. And I don't know why that is. Once I wake up for a few days in a row earlier, then I keep on waking up early, even though I think, oh, I need to sleep more. Your body just kind of wakes up. So I pretty much do at points get to a point where I'm going to force myself to sleep a little bit more, or even go to bed a little bit earlier. If I can do that generally on like an admin day, for example, it means that I can try and just get through everything in order to get to bed a little bit early and just catch up on the hours that I missed. And I know that you can't cheat sleep. That's the one thing about the human body, because I studied sports science at university, where if you're in top level sport, then sleep is mighty important. So yeah, I know that you can't cheat sleep, and it will catch up with you at some point, to the point where your body will just shut down and it will say, right, I'm sleeping now. Regardless of what you're doing, I'm going to sleep, and it just needs to do that. So yeah, I do have sometimes phases when I just have a sleep, and I would have... If I was really bad, I don't generally feel tired. I think that's the first time I've yawned on a live stream that I can remember. So everything's, I guess, with increasing subscribers, you're probably subconsciously doing more hours and doing more messages. But I think everything's fine at the moment. I do get enough sleep, and it's nothing to worry about. And certainly on the admin days, it means that I can relax a little bit more and get up a little bit later. And even if I do wake up earlier, I then try and just go back to bed again. And generally, I'd say I'm quite good at sleeping, because I pretty much go to bed at the same time every day. Like I said, if I'm at 5:30, anything after that, I start to get tired. So I will then fall asleep kind of naturally. And then, yeah, hopefully wake up a little bit later than kind of 10 or maybe even 11. The problem is because, like, for example, recently, I think it was yesterday I ordered another hard drive, because I fill up hard drives like you wouldn't believe. So I had a hard drive order, and of course that gets delivered, and they always deliver in the morning at like 9 or 10, sometimes at 8, which is a bit of a pain. Sometimes in the afternoon, which is great. I'm all for Amazon deliveries in the afternoon, but it's just when they do it at like silly early times, considering that I've probably just... If I've had a video that's been delayed, I've just gone to bed, and then you get to sleep, and then a couple of hours later you have to run up to the door to answer it, to open it. So yeah, that is a bit of a pain sometimes. But if I'm not ordering stuff, I guess it's my own fault. But if I'm not ordering stuff, then it's fine. I can then just sleep a little bit later on. But having said that, I just remembered that the last time I got woken up early, which was again after an admin day, when you think you're going to be, or during an admin day where you think you can sleep a little bit longer, I then got a call from, just a hoax call, people trying to sell you stuff or trying to con you. That's a huge thing here in the UK. They just get your number from somewhere and they call you. And I had that at like 9:30 in the morning. So I pick up the phone and say hello, and it goes to like a recorded message of like a computer voice saying, you're entitled to X amount of pounds, payback. All you have to do is fill in a form and give us your card details. So yeah, obviously a scam, but yeah, I'd love it if they just waited till the afternoon to ring. But yeah, they seem to do that in early morning as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be fine for sleeping, so don't worry. It's only very occasionally when I run over quite a lot on the live streams that makes it a little bit more difficult. But I think I'm gonna have to call it to a close now, and it looks like we're only 7 away from the pick roulette, so we're not quite going to make it unless there are 7 people in the live chat room at the moment who haven't yet hit that thumbs up, which I think is probably a rare case. If there are 7 people, we can keep an eye on that number 267 to see if it does have any kind of spike. But sometimes when somebody does a double click or a few double clicks, it goes down. So you have to make sure that you're not doing it too excitedly so that we're actually going down. But whatever the top number is, we always take that. So we're at 269 now. So that is where we've got to. Even if we go down after that, we still count 269 as the level that we reached during the live stream. 272, we did have a mini spike of the likes. And this is, I mean, it's 24 minutes past 1 now, so we're really at the end of the live stream. We're looking for, a newsflash, 2 people. We're looking for 2 people in the live stream. We're looking for 1 person in the live stream who hasn't hit the thumbs up in order, and somebody's clicked it twice, but it still counts as 274, and there it is, 275. We need some kind of clapping, or I don't know what we can do in order to make that clapping sound. I did have some clapping on a sound effect for New Year's Eve. I'm not sure that I can even find that now, but let's just pretend everyone's applauding. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up, and just by the skin of our teeths, well, collective teeth, or teeths, if that's how you want to say it, even though grammatically and just basic English it's not correct. But thankfully we have made it, so thank you everyone for that very final spike of the likes, for hitting that thumbs up. We're going to be calling it to a close now, so it means that if you have hit that thumbs up, you will be on the pick roulette wheel next week. I can see Laurie saying, Phil, shut your phone off at night. So thank you for that advice, but unfortunately that's why I missed a call from the BBC, who were calling me to go in to do a segment on their Radio 1 show, because I didn't have my phone on. So now, ever since then, I've left my phone on, because then they emailed me and I don't get the notification noise on my phone for emails, because, of course, I get quite a lot of emails coming through the website and everything, messages on Instagram, you name it. So I get quite a lot of those. If they did make a noise, every one of those notifications, it was just kind of all the time, which was a bit annoying. So yeah, that's why I turned off my phone, and then that happened. So it's always Sod's Law, as we call it here, or Murphy's Law, I think you call it over in the USA, where as soon as you turn off your phone at night, you'll get somebody, such as the BBC, trying to call you to get you on to talk about music on their radio show, and I missed that because I turned off my phone. So that's why I have my phone on at all times now, just so I don't miss anything. But anyway, thank you for that, Laurie. Anyway, I know that it would be a good idea. What I need, probably most likely, is to have 2 phones, one for Wings of Pegasus stuff and one for personal. But as you guys know, with me, everything Wings of Pegasus is pretty much personal anyway. It all comes to me, all the messages, all the phone calls, and any phone call I do receive is going to be about something Wings of Pegasus related, I'm sure. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight, and I'm going to have to call it a night tonight. So stay safe, everybody. I'm going to be back here with an analysis video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. And that's probably going to be a little bit of a breakdown of a solo that I got sent recently by Prince. So check that out, because I have my guitar out and we'll be breaking down a few techniques. That should be a lot of fun tomorrow night. So check out that video if you do get a chance. Thursday is the admin day, like I said, but then Friday is another analysis video, and then another live stream on Saturday night. So double your chances of winning in the pick roulette if you join on a Saturday night and a Tuesday night. But thank you everyone for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you in the comments section tomorrow night. Everybody stay safe, wear your masks if that's what your government is requesting you do, or at least kind of advising that you do, and get your vaccines if you do get an opportunity to have that as well. I've had both of mine, and certainly here in the UK it's something that we're all getting done as much as possible. So thank you, Beth, as well, for that $5 donation right at the end of the live stream, saying good night, Phil. So thank you for that, and I will catch you guys. Good night, Beth, and all of you in the live chat room. I will catch you guys at the next live stream, and check out that video that will be coming your way tomorrow night as well. So have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks, moderators, by the way. Quick shout out to their great work and just the way that they deal with everything in the live stream. Massive thank you to the moderators for everything you do, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!